Dark Shepherd here. And if you're paying attention, I can move my hands now. Pay no attention to the wonky eyes. But looks like the facial tracking may not be working at the moment. But it looks like it's kind of there. But this is mostly just talking about the facial or the hand thingies. So you can see on the screen that there is, well, an anime girl. This is called the DNS or DS body tracker, not DNS, DSS body tracker. So that's actually this thing. So you go to this address, make sure you scan this for viruses, download it. This thing just kind of takes you to a link to the Twitter account for this guy. But so you get that, you download it. It's not an install. You don't actually install it. You just run it, and when you run it, it'll start with this. Don't try to put your own model in here. According to the video I saw from Lady Asuka, she said that it kind of screwed everything up. But what we're going to do is go into our settings. If I stop the camera, then VSeeFace stops. But in the settings, we're going to pick our camera, and whatever camera you're using, I'm using the C920 that I have. You can use Elgato, whatever you want. But this is your actual camera that we're going to be using. So how this works is it's passing it through. It's pushing this information over here into VSeeFace over here. And inside VSeeFace, that's why I still have this up. Let me go ahead. The video is going to look a little weird. For some reason, it pushes your model down really far. I don't know why. But in the settings, we go to General Settings. And then we have to change our camera to a virtual camera. And because I'm using OBS's virtual camera. So we do that. I've got my microphone set up. And then we have to make sure this is the same port number that was in the DS body tracker, which is 4 3s, 3333. And then that's it. So we start VSeeFace after that. I'm going to see if changing the avatar will help. Well, like have mouth movements. I can move this out. So, okay, the mouth is moving again. So apparently there's an issue with VSeeFace. But yeah, the hand still works. Use this avatar for a moment. But actually, no, I have my hair up. So we're going with that. We'll go back to this one. So that's how you do it. And the same thing goes when you go to an OBS. So the OBS settings are going to be, game capture. VSeeFace is what it's going to be, like the properties. This is VSeeFace, allow transparencies, to capture a specific window. So that's what we do in OBS, and this pushes through to that, and you have hand tracking and facial movements. So your avatar can basically be alive. That's how that works. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this background. That and move that out and move that out. And to the other thing I was working on this last week. I think I forgot to do the intro for that. This is what I was working on this last week, or I learned this last week. So in here, she's moving, I don't know why. This is jiggle or squishy physics. I wouldn't say jiggle physics. Yes, they do jiggle, but this is more of squishing. So how this works is the bars act as kind of like barriers for these things, the proxies. So the proxies are inside. They look like, kind of water balloons. So if we actually hide the model and show what this looks like, when we animate it, give yourself about 1,000 frames. What we're going to do is actually kind of interact with this while it's moving. So we watch this and then grab this, and you can see we're pushing it. So we can actually push it into position whatever we want. If you move too forcefully, it'll kind of screw it up. But and we want to reset the position right here. And then we pause. And if we bring back the model, that's a picture. Forgot about that. We can actually see that it's descending the breast tissue the exact way that we wanted it to. So if I unhide this and actually go to where I got this idea from was this photo here. Well, I wouldn't say photo. It's a video that I screenshotted just this particular part of it. And if you know who this is, you know who it is. But you can see she's wearing a top that is too tight. And it's squishing her the adipose tissue of her breast out further past it. That's what I'm trying to emulate. How do we do that in Blender, or if you can do it on Unreal? To do it in DAZ, most of the time to do it in any of these applications, you actually have to sculpt it. I'm trying to figure out a faster way to do it. The straps themselves, like this is a triangle shape. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So try and keep this safe for work. So no nudity. So in this particular case, we can get it to squish to a degree, but we actually hide the top. You see what it's doing? It's just standing right there. If we actually probably move this out a little bit further, move it down, I'm going to start the animation over. So it'll push them up. We can do that. And if we actually want to go in further into the body, because this is only going to act on the stuff that has cloth physics on it. And then we can push them up. And try not to make them explode. And we get that. And these, oh, where did the timeline go? It's still running. But I guess the physics stopped. But we can move these in. Yeah, I think we broke it. So we'll move this back down. Yeah, if we get these too close, then it kind of looks like it messes with it a little bit. It also could be the settings I have on the bars themselves. You don't really want them touching it again. Okay, so there's that. So that's about a good distance, and then we can start to move this up. I wanted to actually probably bring it back down and then scale it on the Y, make it wider as a platform, and then slowly move it up. So going, make it too, I don't know, I haven't tried it with that width though. Yeah, they exploded. This is not an exact science. This is a really strange territory for kind of anybody that even tries to do this, because nobody's found a way to actually emulate this yet. At least not that I have found, and other people I've talked to in this particular part of the artistic world, they have no clue how to do this either. No one can make those straps. So this is uncharted territory for a lot of us. And I'm pretty sure there's others that have tried it and that are trying it. I'm hoping someone else will find some easy way to do it. I've seen somebody do it. I think I've mentioned that I saw it in geometry nodes. Somebody kind of did something like it, but I don't know if they ever figured out exactly how to do it for, you know, whatever it was they were doing, or if they just made it look like it. I'm not certain. I have no clue, but yeah, it's still just kind of tweaking. And there's another piece of software I'm going to use this next week that is hand tracking. And I'm going to see if it's going to be kind of better than this, or kind of the same, or maybe it'll, like, because the fingers do track. And you see my fingers are moving. So the DS body tracker is tracking the fingers. The thumbs are okay. It looks like my mouth kind of stopped moving, but it's not bad. I'm still going to test the other one, because it's either that or you get this thing called leap motion detection, and it's this little bar that you kind of put on your chest or on your face. And if I put my hand in front of my face, the eyes go wonky, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of really all I had this last week. There wasn't a whole lot of, it was mostly just messing with this and trying. It was actually a lot easier to get the hand tracking thing to work than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more painful. Lady Oscar's video was only like a minute and a half, but it kind of showed everything you need to know. And what I showed you is kind of the same thing. That's all that was really necessary. Just make sure you get that port number correct, because it is right here. And you can change it if you want to. So you can change the port number to something else that you want, and then make sure it's the same in VSeeFace. But I didn't need that small or that big. Shrink her down. But yeah, the stuff I'm doing next week is basically kind of like I'm going to be customizing. So I have to learn how to do that as far as the clothing is concerned. I mean, I do have different different avatars at the moment. That particular one where he has the horns, I'm going to redo that one. I can't show the tester one because it actually has something in it that you're not supposed to see. This has the custom glasses on it that I want, so I also have that one customized. There's two ways you can do that. You can either texture paint it in Blender, which is, to me, the easier way to do it, or you can actually try to do it in VSeeFace itself. There is a way to do that, and I'll show that. Because I learned it a little bit, but I'm still going to study it better in depth and figure out which one is actually a better path to take if you just do it in VSeeFace or if you take it to Blender. So I'm better with Blender than I am with VSeeFace, or not VSeeFace, but VRoid Studio. That's what I meant, VRoid Studio. So you can paint stuff in there, not here in VSeeFace. There's a lot of applications that are in usage right now. You've got DS Body Tracker, VSeeFace, and the models came from VRoid Studio. This can get very confusing very quickly. But yeah, I was trying to fill up time. This needs to be over 10 minutes. But yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, or comments, feel free to leave them below. There's a lot I learned this last week. Because coming up with this bar idea, this I just kind of found out a couple of days ago. I mean, I was trying like a bowl and basically the two planes. And I'm going back and forth ChatGPT saying you probably need to use solid objects because using flat objects doesn't help. And yeah, but I'll see you next week. Thanks. I can wave now. It's not real good, but bye. That's my eyes go wonky.